Olight Arkfeld Pro versus ArkPro versus ArkPro Ultra. And the real question is whether stepping up the line actually changes anything in your pocket. Because all three are flat, all three do white light, UV, and a green beam. And the pricier ones add a separate spotlight and more lumens. Paying more only makes sense if you'd actually use that. And buying the cheapest one you outgrow in a month isn't smart either. By the end, you'll know which one fits your carry. Let's break it down. So let's start with the thing you'll notice the first time you actually need light in a dark crawl space or a backyard at night, which is how much these three throw and how usable that light feels. The Arkfeld Pro gives you one white beam at 1300 lumens, and it's a floody beam that reaches about 100 meters. That's fine for walking the dog or working under a hood, but it's one beam doing every job. The ArkPro, in contrast, splits that into two separate emitters, a 1500 lumen flood for lighting up a whole area, and an 800 lumen spotlight that reaches past 200 meters. That second emitter is the real jump in this lineup, because a wide flood and a tight throw are genuinely different tools, and you stop compromising between them. The ArkPro Ultra pushes the flood to 1700 lumens, with the same 800 lumen spot, so it's the same setup with a bit more punch. Here's where I'd temper expectations, though. Independent measurements on both ArkPro models come in around 70 to 80% of the advertised numbers, and on the Ultra Turbo holds for roughly 2 minutes before it steps down and settles lower. So the flood difference between the ArkPro and the Ultra in your hand at night is smaller than the 200 lumen gap suggests. Don't pick between these two on the headline number. Brightness only counts if the thing actually lives in your pocket, and this is where all three earn the flat shape. They're within a few millimeters of each other, roughly 120 millimeters long and 16 thick, weighing between 111 and 120 grams. None of them roll off a workbench, and none print like a round tube. Where the ArkPro and Ultra pull ahead is the dual direction clip, which lets you run deep pocket carry or clip it to a hat brim, and buyers keep calling that clip the best they've used. The magnetic base is strong on all three, so sticking one under a car hood is a non-issue. My one beef, and it shows up on both the Arkfeld Pro and the Ultra, is that the side button is easy to bump in a pocket. One owner had the light switch on while sitting down and melt its own lens. The lockout indicator on the two ArkPro models is the answer, and it's a real reason to prefer them. Charging is where the Arkfeld Pro shows its age. It only takes Olight's magnetic cable, so if you leave that cable at home, you've got no way to top it off. And that comes up in owner complaints more than anything else about the light. Both ArkPro models take USB-C or the magnet, which for travel is the difference between packing one cable and packing two. Runtime is strong across the board, with buyers reporting weeks between charges on moderate use, and the ArkPro models carry a 2000 mAh cell against the Arkfeld Pro's 1500. All three seal the battery in permanently, so nobody here is swapping a cell in 5 years. There's an opinion about the ArkPro that stuck with me on the extra modes. I took it to camp for a week and used it every night walking the woods, plus the UV for spotting bugs around the site, and I never plugged it in once. By Saturday, it still had plenty left. That tracks with what I keep seeing, which is that the UV and the green beam stop being novelties once you find your use for them. Tradespeople use the laser to point out a conduit run or a leak to a customer, and the 365 nanometer UV, which is the wavelength that actually makes things fluoresce instead of just glowing purple, is real inspection light on all three. The ArkPro and Ultra go further with a dedicated button for the green beam so it runs alongside any white mode, which is exactly what you want when you're pointing at something you also need lit. On build, all three are solid aluminum unibodies rated IPX7, though the Ultra uses a harder alloy and shrugs off pocket keys better. The Arkfeld Pro's finish is the one buyers mention wearing down with daily carry. So where does the money go? The Arkfeld Pro is the cheapest, and it covers white light, UV, and laser without the second emitter, the USB-C port, or the lockout. The ArkPro costs more and buys you the spotlight, dual charging, and the better clip. The Ultra sits above both, and what the extra buys is 200 more flood lumens, the tougher shell, and finished details. Reviewers who handle all three keep landing on the same read, that the Ultra is the nicest one, and the ArkPro is where the meaningful upgrades already live. Here's the call. For most people watching, the ArkPro is the one I'd buy, because it hands you the throw and flood pairing, the lockout that keeps it from cooking itself in your pocket, and the cable freedom that the cheapest one never gets. And none of that costs you anything in carry comfort. Now, if you're a tradesperson who beats on gear all day and wants the toughest shell of the three, the Ultra earns the extra money, but its flood advantage won't show up the way the numbers imply. And if you mostly want a flat light for the house and the truck, and you don't care about reaching a couple hundred meters, the Arkfeld Pro still does the job cheaper, so long as you can live with one charging cable. And you, which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Links below in the description.